Good morning, everybody, and welcome to TLC Live again with my friend Bobby. Bobby, thank
Hey,
you for coming
I
again.
like it. I love being here, and I'm looking forward to the next time already.
I know with
Yeah,
Orlando Sanchez, he's
he's
back in
coming back.
town.
Right,
He's
right,
back in
right.
town, but he is today filming a lot of commercials. We started yesterday filming commercials with the family. It was a lot of food. It was a really nice settle. But today he's gonna film me all day long, so that's why Bobby is filling it for him.
Well, thank you. And you're helping out with that too, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah. I'm
great
I'm
experience, right?
filming the behind the scene.
Oh, great. Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's fun.
good
But thank
deal.
you, Bobby. And also, you're gonna be this weekend in a Latino leadership
Yes,
class in the Valley, right?
that's right. We're heading down to McAllen on this Saturday and the following Saturday in San Antonio for Leadership Latino. I handle the media and public speaking portion of it, but and we can talk about it some more during the program. But it's just it's free for people to just come on out. We'll put the website up in a little bit, but or we've got it right now. Come on out, learn about campaign finance, being a candidate, getting out there and block walking, everything that it takes to be an activist or a candidate, and we'll continue this Latino wave that Texas is seeing.
Yeah, and you can still register. It's free, as Bobby said. So you just go to texaslatiноconservatives.com or leadershiplatino.com and you can still register. This weekend is going to be in McAllen, but the following weekend is in San Antonio. So I don't know what is more convenience for you, if go to McAllen or go to San Antonio. So either way, we still have a few spots open. So you can register and enjoy over there, learn a lot about not only about Texas Latino Conservatives, but also how to register if you want to run for office or just public speaking if you just want to be a leader from your community. It's a very good class that you can learn a lot, and Bobby is going to be there teaching us, he said, all the media, how to face the media, how to deal with the media, the camera, and when these reporters just come and
Well,
ask
right.
you
And
and
as you
ask you
know,
these tricky questions.
exactly. Sometimes they don't always ask nice questions. So you need to be able to come back and get your message out while still dealing with them in a professional way so that the audience, the people you're trying to reach, will get your message regardless of what they ask you.
Exactly. And somebody that really know how to deal with the media is our dear friend, our first guest is Chris Daniel. He is running for Harris County Clerk, and as his website said, bring back Chris Daniel for Harris County District Clerk. So welcome, Chris. How
Thanks
are
for
you?
having me. I'm doing
No,
good.
thank you for being with us. Thank you for taking the time. Um, so tell us, you're running for this position because you were in the office for many, many years. And then, we know what happened
Right.
with
You're
the,
right. And
with the strike ticket and everything. So, and since then, that office is being a mess.
It's a nightmare, and what the Latino community, particularly the Tejano community in Harris County, needs to pay attention to is when you have an administrative office that is not properly functioning. How on earth, no matter how good or bad the judges are, can we expect them to enforce the laws if they're losing the paperwork, if they're not properly filing the paperwork, if they're having clerical errors all the time where you're letting out murderers on the wrong bond amount, or where you're causing mistrials at jury duty? I mean, it is insane what is happening at that office right now. And if you are someone that is involved in a lawsuit in Harris County, you should be worried, because how on earth are you supposed to get your proper paperwork served to the other side on time so that you can make sure you get paid on your lawsuit if they're not properly filing or even timely filing that paperwork? You don't think about the district clerk's office. You don't even think about the county clerk's office. But you should, because these basic offices on which the justice system sits on, if they do not function, if they are dysfunctional, if they are out to lunch not doing their job, then at the end of the day, we all suffer.
Yeah, Chris. Many people don't even know what is the district clerk position and what is that office and how important it is. So describe what is the duties of that position and in that office is particular.
So you have a county clerk that would be responsible for your marriage license, property titles, and birth certificates, death certificates, as well as your business records. And the county clerk sometimes handles some courts. In Harris County, they handle a total of 8 courts, 4 mid-level courts and 4 probate courts for when someone passes away or you need to deal with an estate or even a guardianship situation. The district clerk, the office that I held for over 8 years, is a key vital office to the justice system. It manages the majority, if not all, the courts in a county. It is a legislated office that was created, unlike the county clerk created by the Texas Constitution, the district clerk was created by the legislature to handle the courts. So you go to your district court for your court records, divorce, lawsuits, criminal records, juvenile cases, and more. And you also go to your district clerk regarding jury duty. The district clerk handles jury duty for all courts in Harris County, including the Justice of the Peace Courts. And the district clerk handles passports now for Harris County officially as the passport office, and it handles the court registry, or really like the bank account for the court system, so that if Ray and I ever got into a dispute, our monies would be in escrow, like if you were buying a house, but instead of at a bank for buying a house, it's at the courthouse holding on to that money for trust. These are the basic duties of the district clerk. But if that paperwork's not being properly filed, if those bonds aren't being properly filed, if things get lost, that's when you have murderers getting released when they're not supposed to. That's when you have mass errors and technicalities and glitches in the computer system where you're having defendants being released by law because the clerk screwed up. It
Well,
is vital that people educate themselves. You have a district clerk, you have a county clerk. They're both important, they're both overlooked, and they're both all the way towards the bottom of your ballot in November.
yeah, that's crucial. I mean, people need to vote all the way down since we don't have straight ticket, and hopefully we'll be riding a Republican wave. But Chris, in your opening statements, it was fascinating how you were able to tie in what the district clerk does with public safety, with what's going on with rising crime, because that is an issue that nationwide, yes, but Fort Bend County, Harris County as well, it's a major issue on people's minds. So again, if you could just kind of reiterate that how this factors in to public safety and how it's been a mess over the last 4 years.
I'll give you an example that just happened last week.
All
A
right,
gentleman
yeah.
was supposed to get a $150,000 bond for murder, and the clerk screwed up, left off a zero, so his bond was set at $15,000, which
Oh
means
my
he
God.
had to only pay $1,500 to get out of jail and commit more crimes. This just happened last week. And then just a month ago, you had during Jury Appreciation Week, where you had statements being made to potential jurors that caused a mistrial in a capital murder case. A
Oh
capital
my
murder
gosh.
case. If you
Right.
look at the statistics of what's going on in Harris County, and ever since the Democrats took over and really started even making inroads in 2016, but ever since they took over in 2018, 2019, you see a drastic spike in PR bonds, in no bonds conditions, in low, cheap bonds, and anything else under the sun that's aggravating our criminal justice system as a whole, causing massive backlogs. Our jail is now overpopulated so that they're having to spend $25 million shipping defendants out. But a lot of this is the logistics. And the district clerk is vital to those logistics. If they take a leadership role and work with the judges in handling this, then you don't have these backlogs. And I can prove that because in 2013, the last time the Republicans were still controlling everything in Harris County, we actually stopped jail overcrowding altogether and had declined the jail overcrowding to a much more manageable point that you hadn't seen since the early 90s.
Oh
So
wow.
when Republicans are in office, the justice system works. Criminals are seeing their fair day in court, and if they are guilty, they're getting a strong punishment, and they're not being let out on Mickey Mouse bonds, and they're not being let out on technicalities, and justice prevails, while at the same time making sure that those who are truly innocent are getting their fair shake because courts are handling matters in a timely fashion. You're getting a full range of people showing up to jury duty, and you're having a timely court resolve its matter in an efficient manner.
That's awesome. That's amazing. Hey, I wanted to ask you one other thing. Um, you know, you had this tenure, and hopefully we'll get you back. But
Yep.
your political career started before then. It got you at a young age, and I deal with young people all the time, and I've actually got my experience through young Republicans as Houston president and state chairman for Texas. So what drew you in? And if you could give people a little background on that first office run, so they can see your passion for public service.
Well, Bobby, you and I had a mutual friend who was heavily involved in the fair tax movement. And
Hmm.
I got involved after I got my first paycheck from the guy. And I said, wait a minute, what's all this other stuff? I thought we agreed to, at that time, $7 an hour. This isn't $7 an hour. And he went through the list and said, well, all those pamphlets and paperwork you've been passing out for me, did you read any of that? I said, no. He says, well, look at this. Oh, oh. Well,
There you
how do
go.
I help this? I'm going to be a Republican and get more of my paycheck because this is ridiculous, the amount of taxes we're paying. So I started getting involved at the grassroots, and it
Hmm.
had to do with taxation and theft. And moving on from there, I got involved in education and was on the board for Lone Star College. It was my first elected office, and we helped transform what was then called the North Harris Montgomery Community College District to being one of the largest, best served community college systems in the state of Texas. And we did that without raising fees on the students and without a massive increase in property taxes, unlike a lot of school districts and other community college systems in Texas. And we focused on our core principle, which was how can we provide the best, most affordable education to those that are normally roadblocked from getting a college degree. And we focused on things like electronic textbooks way before Kindle even was thought about. These are the outside the box ideas that serve everyone, whether you're Latino, whether you're Tejano, whether you're just a gringo like me from Cyfair. It doesn't matter. You have to be able to serve everybody. And it's all about merit. Under my administration, we had the first Latino as a director in the office. It'd be the next highest position underneath the chief of staff and a director of finance, no less. And this was done based on merit, but also because we saw that we needed to make sure that everyone in the office is represented because that's what we expect out of our jurors, and that's what we expect out of our judges, and that's what we expect out of a very diverse community like Fort Bend County and Harris County.
Chris, what is going to be the biggest challenge that you're going to face in case that you win? Because after 8 years in your position and you have done so many things and improved so many things, and then you're out of the office, and then it's like going backwards in that office. Now you're going to face a lot of challenges.
Well, when I win, that means a lot of judges above me and below me on the ballot are going to win as well. And so the
That's
biggest
right.
challenge is how do we have a seamless transition of over 80 judges coming into the courthouse to not disrupt the justice system, not disrupt the civil courts or family courts or juvenile courts, but have so that when you are with Judge A on Monday and Judge B on Friday, that you're still getting your fair shake and fair day in court. That's going to be the biggest logistical hurdle. Then the cleanup comes where we try to undo the mess that's happened for the last 4 years, and that where we try to right the ship and go back to basics. Because when I took office, we had let go hardly anybody. We sat still and found out where the bathroom was, as they say. We made sure that we knew where all the light switches are. I'm being very simple here, but the point is that we didn't go in there with a hacksaw simply just to come in there with a hacksaw. We wanted to find out what was working first. Find out what the successful actions were first, and then embrace those and move on. And if stuff wasn't working, we got rid of it. Uh, Unlike my successor, who was basically handed a Cadillac and within 6 months drove it off a cliff. We have to go and step backwards in this sense and basically reinstitute the successful actions that we know make the courthouse run successfully and run successfully even when there is a pandemic or a natural disaster. When Hurricane Harvey took out the justice system and flooded 3 out of the 4 major buildings downtown, we never
Wow.
closed shop, we never stopped accepting filings, and we never stopped running the courthouse. And yet, when the COVID-19 happened, it was as if virtually everything had to grind to a complete halt. Even though we had the equipment to work remotely, even though we had the equipment to accept filings remotely, it is as if they said, nope, the county judge has decided to lock the doors, and so we're not going to work. And
Wow.
that cost the county millions of dollars in revenue from the tax assessor's office, and it cost countless headaches with people that were waiting trial at the courthouse, whether it was civil, family, criminal, or juvenile.
Wow. Well, Chris, call to action. How we can support you, where people can find you, and
Yep.
you have, where elections is around the corner, pretty much. A few months away from the elections. So tell us how to help.
We are 97 days away from Election Day. It's closer than you think. Go to www.chrisdaniel.org to find out more about the campaign. You can go to the @ Daniel #4 Clerk, so Daniel 4 Clerk, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We also have a YouTube channel. The point is sign up on our website. Every little bit helps financially. We get our message out through the grassroots, whether it's through signs, whether it's through social media blasts. So $5, $10, $25, we'll take it all. You can donate online, but most importantly, tell your friends, hey, there is a clerk's office here. There's a district clerk and a county clerk. And if they're not working, how on earth are we supposed to stop this crime wave that's happening? How are the judges even supposed to have a ruling that's recorded if the computer system is down? We have to have a functioning office. We have to have these cogs running smoothly, and we have to have great Republicans in office to manage that. That includes commissioners like Ray Aguilar, who, if he's commissioner in Fort Bend County, or when he's commissioner in Fort Bend County, or when he continues as commissioner in Fort Bend County, is part of the purse strings that run the entire infrastructure. So the district clerk in Fort Bend County can't even do their job without Ray making sure that he is running a tight ship and keeping fiscal conservatism going in Fort Bend County. So elect us Republicans up and down the ballot.
Well, bring back Chris Daniel.
I know, that's right.
And now he already introduced our next
I
guest.
know, right? What a segue. Chris, you need to guest host next time.
Yes,
Because
you're gonna be co-hosting with us. Yeah.
right. I know. It's like I feel in the pressure. Can we lose his feed? I mean, so that leads us to our next guest, and he's a friend of mine, and I'm, as the new Fort Bend County chairman, getting to know these candidates that we have. They're absolutely fantastic, and one of the cream of the crop, one of the best ones is Ray Aguilar. He's running for commissioner in Precinct 4. We have a great chance of winning this. I think by come January, we're going to be calling him Commissioner Aguilar. Ray, thanks so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Welcome, Ray.
No, it's my pleasure. Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Well, hey man, I know you're in the campaign trail. You're kind of not your typical politician. You're really a grassroots guy. So I wanted to really dive into that so folks can get to know you, the person, because you're not some politician out there. You are a community service guy like I've never seen. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that, your passion, and what drives you day to day to help in Fort Bend County?
Well, I always use the term I was raised in Houston. I was born in Houston and raised in Fort Bend. I've been in Fort Bend for 39 years. My wife Diana and I have twin girls. They're 28 years old, and I grew up in a family of 6 sisters, two brothers, and Fifth Ward, Texas, Fifth Ward down near Houston. And one of the things that drove us, my father used to ask us the same question every day was. First question was, did you say your prayers? And the second question was, who did you help today? And me being the youngest boy, I really didn't help very many people when I was a young age, so I was in trouble quite a bit. But that was kind of the stem of it. My mom was the same way. They volunteered at our church, Our Lady of Sorrows, there in Fifth Ward. Every Sunday they went to church. So did all the neighbors. So it was pretty much a community uh, service area where all the Latinos in the community and not just Latinos. I mean, we had a variety of demographics there, so everybody went there. And that was sort of I don't want to say a training, but that was how it was reared.
Mm-hmm.
That's what made me kind of run into that. And when I moved to Fort Bend, the first thing I did is I went downtown Stafford and asked to sign up in the for the volunteer sheet, and they looked at me like I had like I was a unicorn. They thought, what do you do? What do you want? Well, that led into meeting a lot of folks in the chamber, in the city, and I got involved with Meals on Wheels, with veteran services, with adult and children with disabilities, uh, Fort Bend food pantries. I just got involved. I just wanted to do something outside of my regular job. So that's kind of what got me in it, particularly my parents.
I've been hearing this. You're talking about giving and being a leader in the community, but most important, family and values. And that's what we always say in Texas Latino Conservatives: vote your values.
Absolutely.
And I think
Yep.
this world is as crazy as it is right now is because we're losing values. We're losing the value of the family. We're losing the basics, and that's beautiful. When you talk about those things, that one is getting you to run for office, and it's helping your community, because at the end of the day, this position, I mean, you are not a politician, you are a leader of the community, and you have your business, so you don't need to go and run for office, but you want to help the community. So tell us about praising for, and what do you want to do for that in that position once you get into an office.
Well, again, you said it. I am not a politician. I'm a grassroots guy and always have been. I've worked in politics behind the scenes with others. Um, right now, with the Republicans and Democrats and the separation that's going on, and the damage that's being done to the community in Fort Bend, without conservative values, is a driving force for me. I would like to get things done. I don't like to. I'll give you just a quick example. A lady by the name of Lily Johnson gave me a wonderful um, compliment. We were at a church. I was invited to go to a church, and she stood up there and she started. The pastor was talking, and she got up and she said, "There's one thing about Ray is that if he puts his hand on it, he's going to fix it." And so that's my intention is, and people ask me, Ray, why do you want to serve? Why do you want to run? Why are you running for this office? I'm not going to say what I normally say. It's because I genuinely care. I care about everyone at Fort Bend, but I want to make sure that there is some conversations, legitimate conversations. We don't need confrontation. We need conversations. And I want to be a catalyst for that. I want to be able to sit there and listen to both sides. And I want us to come together and get things done. One of the things, just another quick example, I was in Commissioner's Court yesterday, and it was, well, let's talk about this that's on the agenda. Well, they talked about it. Well, let's put it on the agenda to talk about it next week. You've already got it on the agenda. You already know what you need to know. Make a decision, and let's move on. Um, I am just really, I'll go to Commissioner's Court. I've been going to Commissioner's Court forever. I want to use the position as a commissioner, as a platform to just simply get things done. It just drives me crazy to sit there and talk about things and nothing happens.
Yeah, Ray, just as a little bit of a background, I think this would be helpful for folks. They understand, what's going on in Washington a little bit, and what's going on in Austin, but at the county level, where can we make a difference? Where do we see the commissioners in action, the county judge in action, and why does it make a difference? Why should we elect you and other Republicans in those positions and at the county level, for the residents of Fort Bend County?
Oh, sorry, I think I went off there. Am I still on?
Yeah, you're still on.
Hello?
Yes, you are on.
Yeah, we got
Oh,
you.
I think he went off a little bit. You're still on, Ray. You're still on. I don't know if you
Okay, good.
hear the question.
Well, okay, yes, I did. And here's one of the commissioner. I get this asked a lot. What is a
Hmm.
commissioner? What does a commissioner do? A commissioner is responsible for your road and bridges. It's responsible for your flooding, your drainage. It's responsible for your taxes. It's also responsible for your public safety. Right now, Fort Bend County has a spending problem, and we need to put a handle on it. It is creating too much government, and we're spending a lot of money on positions and things that we don't need. And the other part is that we're overdeveloping our infrastructure now. We have more development that our roads can handle, and we need to put a moderate control on that so we can take a better view of what our infrastructure. One quick example is that coming out of my home just to get to Highway 99 used to take me 2 minutes. Now it takes me 20.
Oh, wow.
We have to stop that. The other part is public safety. People want to be able to go out on their roads and on their after work and have fun with their children. Public safety is vital right now. You hear it all the time about people carrying guns and they're just walking through, and you see it on next door, people walking up to the doors and just taking stuff. We are short right now with public safety, with police officers, constables, sheriff. We need to reevaluate this, and we need to look at what they're being paid, how they're being trained, and give them the tools that they need to do their jobs. Defunding the police is not the answer. But who are you going to call? The commissioner? I mean, we'll come out, but what are we going to do, right? You need someone that's trained to take care of these things, and we've got to get them, give them the information and the tools that they need. I am a hands-on, open door person. My politics is very simple. What do we need? How do we get it? And let's get it done.
You know, I've been hearing Chris Daniel and you, and one of the common thing is public safety. And absolutely right. I mean, we are afraid. We're scared to even go out it's not only before you said, you know, be careful at night, you know, it's dangerous. Be careful in this area, it's dangerous. Not anymore. At any time of the day is dangerous. Any place on the city, in the county, not only in Harris County, but now Fort Bend County. You guys are our neighbors. What is going on is horrible. It's not only a scare for our kids, for the families. We cannot even go to the pharmacy or gathering, not even in our own house, because you know somebody just drive by and start shooting and somebody get killed. And this is ridiculous what is going on, and it's not affordable. And we need leaders like you. We need leaders like Chris Daniel to put, you know, para, como dicen en español, vamos a poner orden en esto. We need to put order on this.
Ándale.
Ándale.
Yes, we do.
Absolutely.
It needs to. There you go. Claro que sí, porque I'll tell you what. One of the things that I've worked in the hospitality industry for over 20-something years, and I went to work for, Chris knows I went to work for the gentleman who owns Classic Chevrolet several years back, worked there for 9 years, and they wanted to be part of the community. Well, all that worked out and that was fine. But when we have commissioners and public, and I don't want to be a public servant. I'm always going to be a servant to the public. But one of the things that we do not do as a public servant all the time. Now, we don't always have time to do it, but at times when you have 30 minutes and you go out into the community with the police officers, the sheriffs, or whoever you're going to walk out there with, show a united front that you both care. People will respect that, but when you do, they'll respect that. But when you do that and they see you do it and they see you shaking each other's hand, then they start to trust you. Because in the Latino community, and I believe in any community, respect is one thing, but trust is everything. And you get that under your belt with the community, then they'll look at and they'll trust you, but they'll also team with you, and they won't be afraid to speak up because they know that you're there to help them. So getting out there and shaking hands as a public figure, not just when you're running for office, but on a daily basis, answering your phone, inviting people to Commissioner's Court. I invite people all the time to Commissioner's Court. They had no idea what it was.
Yeah.
But I want them to come and see how the Commissioner's Court is responsible to them. And
That's
it's
another
an
thing, right?
experience.
Yeah, that's another thing, that our community is not well informed. Our community don't go to City Hall. They don't go to Commissioner's Court. Right. They don't get informed and they don't get involved. So when it comes to the time to go and vote, I mean, they don't even they don't even know how to vote because and they don't know for who to vote because I think we have a lack of information. The media is not doing their job on that. And so what are you doing in Fort Bend to get the word out, to inform our community? I know you're bilingual, so our Latino community also.
Okay, I've been involved with Hope. It's called Hispanics Offering People Education and the Hispanic Heritage, the Latino Veterans Association, the Latino Veterans Vietnam Veterans Association, but not just those. I'm responsible, and I've been coordinating community leadership programs in Fort Bend. And what I've done is everyone who comes in, one of the things we do not talk about is politics. But we ask, and through our conversations, what I've been doing is inviting people and asking the public officials, the city councilmen, the mayors, to invite the public. And sometimes they do. But I myself, what I'm doing is I always tell someone, so have you been, you know who your mayor is? Yes, I do. Well, have you been to any city council meeting? He says, well, no. Well, let's go and let's find out. Let's call a couple of your friends and let's invite them. Who do you think would like to go? So I'm literally taking them to these meetings for them to see it. And what it's done, it has inspired them to get others. You need to go find this out because, oh my God, I'll just tell you this quick story. In one of the city council meetings, they had a 25-minute discussion about dog tags. And I thought, what the hell? Why are we talking about dog tags? Well, the people that were with me, they turned around. One of them said, can you move on? And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I don't want you to have to do that. But it was true. This is their city. That is, this councilman and the mayor worked for them. They should have a say-so. And it just took, and now they go to the council meetings and take friends with them.
Wow.
Well, that's great. That's great to be involved. Hey, Ray, on your background, I thought one thing was interesting. We know your long work in community service, and that is outstanding. You also did work with the Emergency Management Office, which I think, in this area in Fort Bend County is very critical. What was your background there?
We had emergency, we'd have a flood. You remember the Tax Day flood, the Memorial Day flood, Harvey. And even before that, there was small emergencies, tornadoes or twisters. And I just took it upon myself I heard it, saw it on TV, and I went to that location, my wife and I, just to see who we could help because the twister had torn up some homes and so forth and so on. And then we had several floods after that. And one of the judges here in Fort Bend asked me if I can help do something. So I just said, I already done it. He said, well, you did? I said, well, yeah. He goes, well, who did you work with? I said, my wife and I. Well, one thing led to another, and I was appointed and asked to work on the activation team for the Emergency Management Office. So during the floods, and particularly Harvey, Ike, I was a logistics person. I set up places and areas all over the county for collecting supplies and distributing them out to the areas that needed it. And we had everything we needed in Fort Bend. So we even went as far as going out to Beaumont. We went out to Brazoria County. We went out to Waller County and Wharton County. So it's just something that when it comes to emergencies and things like that, volunteering with them, Pecan Grove Volunteer Fire Department, you just act. You got to do something, and it just was a calling, I guess. I just got involved, and now I do it.
Ok, bueno, ya, now call to action. ¿Cómo podemos ayudarte? ¿Cómo podemos apoyarte? How we can help you? How we can support you?
Okay. Well, like Chris said, I mean, you can go to the ray4fortbend.com, Ray, R-A-Y, for fortbend.com. Go to the website. Obviously, I am the worst person to ask for money. But if you go to the website, it gives us opportunities to collect money and do the things that we need to do on social media with videos, with photographs and other things. But you can go onto the website and also volunteer. We block walk. I block walk every morning and every evening. If you want to get involved and you just, like Chris said, $5, $10. But if you want to block walk and help us, you can call me. My cell phone is on that website. And Ray, I'd like to block walk. We put you on a list. I have a wonderful group that works with me. Sheena Navarro is the campaign coordinator. I have JC Jatan and Tori McFarland. We gather a lot of information, but go to the website, get my phone number off the website, call me, call Sheena, send us an email, a text, anything that you feel you can do, we'll find a place for you.
And also, Bobby,
Yeah.
you're helping in his
Yeah,
campaign
absolutely.
too.
Yeah, we've got Ray. We'll be talking more, but this is such a crucial area because not only is Commissioner Precinct 4 winnable for us, but we get Ray elected, and we get our county judge elected, and Trevor Nails. We take back control of the county government, and all of the things that you did such a great job of outlining to people who are listening as far as county services and what needs to be done. We can do those with Republican control, and Ray's the guy to do it. We're going to be helping him a lot in the community, helping on his campaign. But Ray, thank you so much for all you're doing.
Oh, my pleasure. And thank y'all so much for having me. Chris, it was good to hear you, buddy. And Bobby, thank you for everything you're doing in Fort Bend County. I'm just going to say this. There has been an ignited fire with Bobby being the chairman for Fort Bend. The guy, I said this yesterday, Bobby, and I'll just tell you, I said, Bobby's probably one of the smartest guys I ever met. He's an astronaut, he's a doctor, he's a lawyer, he's everything. If I have a question, I can go to Bobby. But Bobby, you have really inspired me personally to even work harder for this position, and that itself means a lot. I'm very much privileged to know you, and thank you so much.
Thanks, Ray. You're a friend for sure, and man, I can't wait to get this guy elected.
I know.
It's going to be a good one.
Ray, muchas gracias. Y mucha
Ándale, muchas
suerte.
gracias a ustedes. Buen día. Ándale.
Ciao, ciao. Wow, Bobby. Well, Bobby is not only being a good and amazing asset and element in Fort Bend County, but also in Texas Latino Conservatives.
Yeah, thank you. I enjoy that.
We
And
love you so much.
I appreciate you bringing me in on Texas Latino Conservatives because it's an outstanding organization. You, Orlando, all the ones associated with it. We see the results.
Yeah.
We see what's going on,
Oh, yeah.
not just down in the valley, San Antonio, all over the
Everywhere.
state. And it really, all the work has paid off. But it's, and what's the result? We get candidates like Maya Flores. We get candidates like
Yeah.
Ray Aguilar, John Lewin, and folks that share conservative values that are willing to step out in public to run for these offices, which takes a lot of work.
Oh, yeah.
It is a lot of work, and they're out there doing it. So the best thing we can do is support them and support Texas Latino Conservatives.
Thank you, Bobby. And definitely, as we were talking at the beginning, Latino leadership is a big element that we offer, and it's classes that we offer for free at Texas Latino Conservatives. And Bobby is one of the speakers, and he's training in media, and he's helping leaders in the community and people that wants to run for office to deal with media. But not only media, it's an important element when it comes to run for office, but from A to Z, we teach you in Leadership Latino how to run for office from the moment that you go and sign for the position till how to get money, raise funds on blog walking, and everything that involved in a campaign, because it's a lot of work, as you say, Bobby.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, McAllen, Leadership Latino in McAllen, August 6th, this Saturday, and San Antonio, August 13th. Just go to leadershiplatino.com to sign up so that we know you're coming. It's absolutely free. And what you get all day long will take you and give you those steps you need, not just to be a candidate, but to be at any level of grassroots involvement to make a difference in your community. Just check out leadershiplatino.com.
And go also to TexasLatinoConservatives.com and become a member. It's only $35, or you can make a bigger contribution. That way we can keep doing what we're doing.
Absolutely.
And I'll see you guys next Wednesday in TLC Live. Nos vemos el próximo miércoles. Chao, chao.